So, hello, ladies and gentlemen. So we are happy to welcome you today to this conference prepared by the team of Promostyl. So, I would like first to introduce Malaika, Ewande, and me, the art style director of the agency. So, in a few words, we are a forecasting trends agency based in Paris. Today, our main mission is to help brands to anticipate the consumer needs and, of course, the trends like silhouettes, fabrics, materials, etc., etc., etc. So, our first presentations, we have another one tomorrow. This presentation, Elevated Tradition, sets the tone for seasons, focuses on the trend chosen with Pure London to drive the entire show. So, in our analysis, we noticed that the way women presented their status and power through clothing, especially in the office, had massively changed and a new trend emerged now. Today, women are breaking traditional codes of power dressing, steering away from the basics, not only in terms of products, but also in terms of styling. We couldn't help but notice the immensely casual turn the luxury market has taken. We also had the generational barrier without falling into ridicule and to introduce a more realistic market. When talking about elevated tradition here, we mean it not only in terms of fashion, but in general. Okay, so now I leave the floor to Malaika.
All right. Yeah. Oh, this is a loud mic. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here this morning with us. So, did you get this? Right. So, like Sebastien said, when we're talking about power in this specific context, we're talking about power in general. So we're going to start by talking about the influences of this new power dressing. So you need to understand that the very concept of power has very much evolved in the modern world. For like when we talk about power, we're not just talking about royalties anymore. Powerful people in our world are now CEOs, influencers, entertainers, all these people. And so because of that, the fashion landscape is going to change considerably. Next one. So the first influence of the notion of power and power dressing can be found in entertainment specifically. All this obsession that we've had with family dramas such as Succession or The Crown or even the Gossip Girl revival, it's all about exploring this very immensely powerful group and this life that some could just dream of. And obviously, we know that entertaining has a huge, huge role in defining trends and in defining fashion these days. And this is the reason why this is our first big influence. Specifically, so those shows that I've mentioned, you've seen that in private schools or in super rich families. And when you think about it, in movies and even in real life, varsity teams are like the kings and queens of high school. It's a cliche, but it's true. And same, the cottage look is very much like related to, the royal families, and we see them translate throughout fashion as well. But obviously, you can't just necessarily take from cliches and from the past, and so there is this second huge influence that comes from architecture and from culture that is much more minimalistic, simply because people of power also want to make their status translate through a more qualitative and more minimalistic approach to fashion. So that's how you end up with such, wide and very plain, but still very, very good projects and silhouettes.
So now, how it is translated into fashion. As you can see, this new wardrobe takes the codes of iconic luxury wardrobe pieces and its ancestral know-how, the English tradition also, and the equestrian world. But not only. There is another trend, more minimalistic. Just there, the soft power dressing here. Office wear is being completely redesigned and rethought now to match with the hybridization of our working habits, which are becoming more casual. And of course, all mixed and daring elegance based on streetwear, sportswear, and varsity. So we will illustrate these three trends, three mega trends. So about the color range, of course, the colors follow this mood. The first one, you have here in the middle the orange, which reminds us the iconic color of Hermes. The green imperial and the horsey brown, which remind us Gucci. This shade of blue, this blue here, the light blue and the navy blue, mixed with this terracotta tile, reminded us the preppy codes. And finally, this mood here with this light pink, which we call the illustrious rose, the pink milky flower here on the bottom, the yuki gray. We called our colors. We like to give some names to illustrate them. And the brown acajou shades express good taste and softness. And if you mix all together, you can have some streetwear and sportswear atmosphere aesthetics. So here is our first trends, Arctic Campus. We observe a high-end casual wardrobe that blends the aesthetic of the codes of varsity and or the preppy codes with their messages, a slogan, or typography with street art codes, which creates an unexpected, sensual, and beautiful aesthetic. About silhouettes, the university uniform is revisited and modernized, of course. We can have some oversized sweatshirt and t-shirt, worn ribbed cuffed, jacquard pullover. This is preppy coats, cap with patches, crop jackets, and why not some sequin teddy jackets. On the first look here, this woman is wearing an oversized boyfriend striped shirt in poplin, associated with skinny jogging short pants, which can remind us the equestrian world. And she shows his socks, his colored socks. Watch at the backpack here, which is printed in graffiti and in graffiti art fabric, and the six-soled moccasins with also graffiti art. About the second looks, the models wear a campus style cardigan belted by a modern corset in vegetal leather, okay? Wears with a mid-length skater look skirt and traditional check print, and also side graffiti art tags. About products, the fleece of the sweatshirt is oversized also, with silk screen printing varsity campus style, And this zipped cardigan here is in cable knit. It is cropped with rib collar, cuff, and trims. You can observe stripes also, athletic stripes detailing, and under it there is a fine short blouse in striped poplin. About materials now. They are typically English. You can have some thick woolens in virgin wools. Striped shirts, we have saw that in the silhouette. Borrowed from the menswear, you know, we have a power woman now. All type of checks, tartans, clans. Sometimes they can be kilted also. Hand-tooth patterns, but all is colored or gentized, printed or embroidered that twist the whole. So here also street art meet up classical traditional for unexpected and innovative prints. The accessories now. So they are also rework, and we play on astonishing mixes. For example, we can have some rugby ball bag, trapeze motif baseball hat, mixes with traditional pattern, painted thick-soled moccasin, or pouch bags with patches or graffitis. They're the same mood. Malaika now.
Right, so our second branch of palette dressing is called Updated Nobles, and for good reason, as you can see on screen. So it basically references what you could refer to as old money. We find elements of English heritage, for sure, in terms of aesthetic. But when you look at the textile, you can see that there is a definite celebration of craftsmanship, as well as an approach that is bold and playful. Because while it's completely inspired from tradition, the person who wears this style is anything but traditional, for sure. So this is how you end up with silhouettes that find the perfect balance between, you know, something new and something old. So for instance, on the left, very first one, you have a sort of new play on the trench coat. So you can see that it's like checked yoked, but with the elbow are patched with leather to make it a bit more, you know, a bit more fun. And same goes for the second one. So we use tweed, which is a very traditional, basic material of, you know, old dressing. But as you can see, the shoulders are going to be a bit rounder, a bit more relaxed. We're also going to go for like slit pockets instead of patches one. It's all very much about the details and how you play around tradition when you do the work. Next one. So looking at the textile, we have the exact same trajectory, meaning that you find all the traditional luxury type fabrics. So it's gonna be your virgin balls, the tweeds, jacquards and everything, but they're heavily printed and very graphic and made very playful, again. So that's what you can see here on the fabrics. And when you look at the prints, it's very much on the nose in terms of inspiration, but it's also very cool to have those kind of references to like power and like, you know, activities such as riding or like pure breed dogs and stuff like that inspire the prints. And then we just use all the colors that Sebastien mentioned earlier to make it work. Finally, when we go into the accessories, at this point you've understood how it works. It's basically the same thing. You have to think in terms of like preppy meets manic pixie dream girl. So it sounds insane, but it works. I mean, you see it on screen. So it's gonna be all those very fun like riding boots, like the classic bag over there, and everything with like touches of very much riches and tradition, but just made maximalized, very colorful, very loud, but still very qualitative.
Okay, our last trends now. regarding the formal. Going to the office, sorry, is not the same as in the past, as we told you before. Since COVID, the mix between face-to-face and remote working has influenced and impacted fashion and consequently how clothing and tailoring are designed. Now the pieces are more casual, so now you know that we have clearly explained, but also in the formal, and feed on, sportswear and streetwear while keeping the cause of traditional and now why? Because this woman also wants to stay stylish and elegant. So tailoring and attention to detail are essential here. And they have to be used in the creation and the production process. Yes, slide. So, about silhouettes and products, the result is minimalist. A bit conceptual also. Sportswear and tradition merge in a perfectly balanced way. So the wardrobe is casual, comfortable, light and pure. You can see here. It must be easy to wear, all in layering for more practicality. That's an important thing. And colors are neutral. We have saw that in at the beginning of the conference. About silhouettes, both are ultra clean, and the codes of the sportswear are like we can use some drawstrings, some hoodies, and some detailing taken from the jogging, for example. Watch, for example, at that relaxed silhouette on the right here, composed by a wool blend suit and a hoodie in cashmere, blend jersey, layered with a light white cashmere blend turtleneck. The other silhouette shows a luxurious layering composed of a cashmere blend jersey dress, a sleeveless cashmere, a wool blend coat, and a voluminous, we are in the extra large here in this wood, wool blend trousers. About products, watch at the high waist trousers with wide leg and twisted by a gathered jogger hem here. The product on the left is a double-faced cashmere blend coat inspired by the kimono with a draped collar, belted waist, and pagode sleeves, as you can see. So comfort is essential. About fabrics, materials, we use only sophisticated natural materials, especially some wool like cashmere or merinos, on knitwear and woven, the both. As pattern, they are almost non-existent here, except for some large-scale organic shapes and curve in jacquard. Here, a jacquard in a silk woven, and this pattern, some very curved, very with natural colors. The accessories, thank you. So, for the office, the essential are here also we work in a luxurious and elegant way with soft leather. It's we have a lot of leather here in smooth curve volumes and well throughout straple with a twist. Malaika.
Okay, so to conclude, so why does the trend work. Because it is, like I said, something very exclusive, and it focuses on one market, which is a luxury market. But why would the trend somehow work outside of it? Well, for starters, because our minds have considerably opened throughout the years in the industry. In addition to eco-conscious consumerism, there's also the notion of inclusivity that is the main drive in fashion at the moment, which means that we're trying to cater to everyone's need, which is why somehow making the luxury market a bit more casual goes into this exact way. Sorry. And also because, like I said, like in the beginning, in the introduction, the people who hold power in the model world are much younger. Now, when we think about power, we don't only see like old people just taking care of everything. As you can see, like from this picture, for instance, from Forbes 30 under 30, some of the most powerful people you're going to be following on Instagram are under 30. They're way younger. And because they're way younger, they're going to have a style that's going to be more casual, more playful, more modern, simply. And another thing is that there's also the notion of diversity in our industry that is extremely important at the moment. We now know that literally every, creative director or stylist or influencer, they come from all around the world, which means that there's not only one cultural notion of power and of luxury, there's several. And this is why this trend works. It's because it's meant to reflect that, to reflect a more honest and a more completely true and realistic luxury market. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. We are open to any questions. Thank you.